let me ask you this just in the broader, not in terms of Chinese music, but just in terms of Chinese musicians, young Chinese musicians trying to break into the world music scene, that a lot of people tell me, Chinese musicians tell me, that the reason there's so many great Western jazz players, they have the Charlie Parkers and so on and so forth, is you have to have lots and lots of people who are almost that good, many, many virtuoso players, many people who are really good, all competing in that environment, and then over time, one Charlie Parker will emerge, or a Dexter Gordon, or a Duke Ellington, or something like that, right?
Miles,
And Miles, right? And so the problem that they say in Chinese culture is that people are just too new to all of this. You know, that's one thing. There hasn't been yet enough people doing it so that one could rise to the top. But the other thing they say, and here's what I really want to ask you about, is they say a really good soloist, which is what these players are in jazz, is someone who's able to express themselves through the music and create a very, emotion through the music. That takes a kind of way of approaching the instrument and a kind of individuality and an individual expression that there really isn't a lot of precedent for here, a lot of tradition for here. What do you think about that? Do you think China is awaiting some kind of a new breed of players that have to be first trained in a totally different mindset before they can, be on the world stage and be at the same level as these other musicians?
I think what Chinese musicians should do is to take their root, to value their root, and then to combine that, because you cannot become someone who you are not. Although, because it's not in your culture, you can't fight. I used to be one of them. I thought, oh, I'm so not Chinese, and I'm so international, and so this and so that, until I went to the West, and then I realized the best way is not fight it. Is to
be who you are.
To be who you are, to take advantage of your culture, and to combine with your own personality. And that is your voice, instead of trying to sound like a Western jazz musician. It's because you are never, just like a Western musician tries to learn guqin or guzheng, they can be technically very advanced, but there's something. If they're not from here or lived here, or there's certain things you can't break, and it's just in your blood. And then I don't think that's a bad thing, because that really makes you different. So I think the best way for Chinese musicians, young musicians, to emerge to the world stage, I think is try not to sound like Westerns.
Is to draw upon their own culture, their own background, and be original within that, and not try to just copy.
Right, exactly.